Hello, fellow campers. I'm Wanda.
And I'm Ricky.
And we are Tennessee Camping Nerds.
Nerds.
And today we're going to be reacting to people's true stories about camping that we found on the web, whether they be strange or funny or scary. And if you like this video, be sure and click the like button. And be sure to subscribe to our channel. We need subscribers. And be sure to stick around until the end because I'm going to tell you a story about how many beers it takes to incapacitate a bear.
That's interesting.
All right.
And also push the bell.
Yeah, the notification bell.
All our videos get notified about.
Okay, our first story is from Weird News on arcamax.com. That's ARCAMAX.com. And the title of the story is Alligator Captured Near Rhode Island Campground. An alligator spotted near a campsite in Rhode Island was captured with the help of a man from Florida who jumped on the reptile's back. Gloucester police said officers responded Saturday afternoon to Snake Hill Road near the Holiday Acres campground on a report of an alligator spotted in the street. A crowd of witnesses gathered on the road to block the alligator from leaving before police arrived. Witnesses said one man, Ron Rossier, R-O-S-S-I-E-R, Rossier, jumped on top of the reptile. The adrenaline was happening the whole time. It wasn't until all was over that I was like, "Do you have a heart attack pill, anybody?" Rossier told WJAR-TV.
Yeah, I think I'd like to jump on an alligator.
Yeah, right. Rossier's gator wrestling skills allowed the Gloucester officer to get a catch pole noose around the alligator's neck. The officer made his move with the noose, and I made my move, Rossier said. Rossier, who is from Florida, said he is used to seeing alligators in person. He said he wanted to protect the alligator as much as other humans in the area. It could have been a different story if he got into the lake. There's kids around. I care about animals, and I wanted to make sure he was safe, Rossier said. The police said the alligator's origins are unknown. So the strangest thing about the story is this is not the Deep South. This is in Rhode Island.
Somebody got a baby alligator.
Oh my goodness.
And took it as a pet, I guarantee.
I don't know if a baby, it would grow to be a full-size alligator up there in Rhode Island. So I'm thinking someone had kept an alligator for quite some time and then released it or something. That's crazy. Can you imagine? I mean, maybe you might expect to see maybe a snake. You know, that would be about the scariest thing you would expect to see at a Rhode Island campground, or maybe some crazy person. But not an alligator. And what's the chances of somebody from Florida was there that knew how to handle an alligator? That is
we've
crazy.
Seen stuff strange at campsites too.
Yeah?
When we went camping down in Carthage, we was riding from the campground through the hills looking around and run across a black panther. And I couldn't believe it. We thought, surely there's no way a black panther would be here.
Yeah.
But we looked it up and they said there had been spottings of a black panther in that area.
Yeah. That's still not as crazy as an alligator in Rhode Island, though. All right, our next story. And this one is from insider.com. And it is a story that someone told about when they were little. He says, I was around 4 years old at the time. This particular camping trip, the day was winding to a close, and my dad and a few of his friends built a campfire. Being a little kid, I wanted to make s'mores. So someone gave me a stick with a marshmallow on it without really knowing that I had never roasted a marshmallow before. I stuck the thing right into the flames, and as you can imagine, it was very quickly engulfed in a ball of fire. Being 4, I had no idea how to put it out, so my first reaction was to wildly start waving the stick back and forth and up and down. Almost immediately, before anyone could react, this flaming marshmallow flew off of the stick and smacked me right in the center of the forehead, essentially covering my face in molten goo that is rapidly streaming down towards my eyes. I essentially had to be dunked into this cooler head first by all of these adults to put the marshmallow out. Now, the craziest thing about this story is you put a 4-year-old in that close to a fire to roast his own marshmallow. Some people are just crazy. I mean, I would be there with that child, helping hold the stick and hold them so they didn't fall into the fire. 4 years old.
Yeah, we're just real protective of.
Yeah, but that's crazy.
That just makes sense.
I wonder if he was scarred. I mean, that's.
I hope.
Whew, that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
All right, next story. This one's entitled "The Very Last Time She Went Camping," and it's on ranker.com. And it says, I actually read this story on Reddit a couple of years ago. It was a woman relating a story about the last time she ever went camping. It went something like this. She was a very accomplished camper and survival enthusiast. She enjoyed going on solo trips for 2 weeks or so, completely on her own. Now, that's crazy enough to me right there. But anyway, teach his own. She explained that she would stop and hit a store a couple of hours before her destination to get some supplies, and that would be it for people. During her last trip alone, she saw one guy by the store in a truck parked along the road fishing. She never saw another person after that. She would see bears, moose, wildlife, but that's it. She spent her time reading and just traveling around. During each trip, she would take 10 to 14 disposable cameras with her. A couple of days after one of her trips, she took the cameras in to be developed. When she got them back, she was sifting at home, looking through the pictures. Once she got to the 5th or 6th roll, she almost had a heart attack. Every 3rd or 4th picture was a picture of her sleeping on a different night. She swore she didn't see another person anywhere. She explained that she has never gone solo camping, or camping at all for that matter, since then. Her husband could not get her to go anywhere near the woods after that. That's kind of scary.
That's creepy.
That's freaky, because evidently this person that was taking a picture of her with her cameras at night while she was asleep, they had to have been following her if she's going different places and setting up different places.
Mm-hmm.
And she said at four different nights, picture of her sleeping. Now, every 3rd or 4th picture was a picture of her sleeping on a different night. So maybe the whole time, every night, they were taking a picture.
The biggest thing that upset her about it, though, is she didn't have her hair fixed.
Oh, good grief. Oh, my goodness. That's terrible. Somebody that loved camping alone and did all the time, never went camping again. All right. This story is entitled Beetles Falling from Tree. This one's also from ranker.com. And this person says, I went camping with my husband and our 2 kids. At night, we were sitting at the picnic table playing cards, and beetles of all different types kept falling from the trees, flying around us, crawling up the table, etc. They kept getting bigger and more weird looking. My daughters were freaking out to the point of almost crying, so we decided to get into the tent. When I got in and turned around, my daughters screamed that I had a beetle on my back. I wasn't freaked, but I told them to brush it off, but they wouldn't come near me. When my husband came in, I turned around and asked him to get it off. He screamed and wouldn't get it off either. At that point, I knew something totally huge and freaky was crawling on me, so I ripped off my sweatshirt and threw it outside. I didn't talk to my husband for the rest of the night.
Probably the rest of the week.
Oh, my goodness.
Would you be mad at me?
I would be very mad at you if you did that to me. You got to be my hero and help me out here. I had something similar happen to me that one time. I was walking with a friend of mine when we were teenagers. We were walking in the woods and walking by this barn, and all of a sudden she looks at me and starts screaming that there's this big spider on me. Instead of helping me, she takes off running from me. So we're both running through the woods screaming, and I'm like jerking and carrying on. I was so mad at her. But yeah, that's not good to not even help her out there. Of course, I wouldn't want to touch it either. All right. So this one is about a bear. It's called A Bear Licking My Face, and it's on insider.com. All right. This one's extremely short. It says, I woke up to a bear licking my face. I screamed. He screamed. We parted ways mutually. That's the end of that story. That's crazy.
Oh, man.
That's funny to think of that bear screaming though and taking off in the opposite direction. All right, and now, as we promised, our last story. It's about a bear. And this is a new story. You can find it all over the internet because people have repeated it, and it was in local news. It's entitled "Bear Downs 36 Bears Passes Out at Campground." All right. When state fish and wildlife agents recently found a black bear passed out on the lawn of Baker Lake Resort, there were some clues scattered nearby. Dozens of empty Rainier beer. Is it Rainier? Rainier? Did you ever heard of Rainier beer? It's Rainier. I'm just going to call it Rainier. Probably mispronouncing it. The bear apparently got into campers' coolers and used his claws and teeth to puncture the cans. And not just any cans. He drank the Rainier and wouldn't drink the Bush beer, said Lisa Broxson, a bookkeeper at the Campground and Cabins Resort east of Mount Baker. Fish and Wildlife Enforcement Sergeant Bill Hink said the bear did try one can of Bush, but ignored the rest. The beast then consumed about 36 cans of Rainier. A wildlife agent tried to chase the bear from the campground, but the animal just climbed a tree to sleep it off for another 4 hours. Agents finally herded the bear away, but it returned the next morning. Agents then used a large, humane trap to capture it for relocation, baiting the trap with the usual donuts, honey, and in this case, 2 open cans of Rainier. That did the trick. This is a new one on me, Hike said. I've known them to get into cans, but nothing like this. And it definitely had a preference.
It's like anybody. There's different beers you like.
Oh, goodness. Well, if you're going to be feeding the bears in your campsite close to me, be sure and leave plenty of Rainier beer so that the bear passes out. It's not a danger. That's a crazy story.
That is.
If you know of any funny, strange, weird, scary camp stories that people have told on the internet that you would like for us to react to in the future, put a link in the comments below. Or if you have a personal story that you would like to share, put that in the comments below. I'm sure our subscribers and our viewers would like to see that, and we may share it in a future video. Once again, be sure and subscribe to our channel.
Like button.
Hit the like button and share this video with your friends. And even though these are strange stories, I'm ready to go camping, aren't you?
Let's go camping.
Let's go camping.
Peace.